Welcome to It Takes a Village, presented by Assalone Lombardi, a firm that champions a holistic approach to divorce. Join us as we explore how guidance from the right third-party experts can transform a challenging life event into a journey of empowerment.
Welcome to It Takes a Village, presented by Assalone Lombardi. I am Victoria Lombardi, presenting my fabulous co-host, Veronica Assalone. And we are so excited today. We have been waiting a very long time to have this very special guest with us today. We have Christine Crumb of Gentry Moving and Storage with us. Hello, Christine.
Hello, ladies. Good
Hi,
We are
afternoon.
Christine.
so happy to have you. For those of you that don't know, Christine Crumb is the owner of Gentry Moving and Storage, one of the New England's largest moving and storage companies. And she's here today to talk to us about the importance of moving in a divorce. So, Veronica, do you want to take it away?
Hi, Christine. I just want to tell everybody how excited we are to have you here today. People may be scratching their head saying, what the heck does moving have to do with divorce? As you know, we love to highlight the village that we leverage to help our clients in a divorce, and the people that we have vetted and trust and know that our clients will be in really good hands with. And we know that person is you as it relates to moving. We know that because, sort of like ourselves, you are a badass boss lady, business owner who has empathy and compassion for your clients and your customers. And we know when we are referring them to you that we are leaving them in your very good and capable hands.
Thank you.
And why do you need a mover in a divorce? Frequently, as everybody will learn when going through the process, you do need a mover because somebody's leaving the marital domicile, and it can be a very emotional time for folks and very daunting, less daunting with you. And would love to ask you to tell people who are listening, um, what is your advice, having helped those folks who are going through the process of a divorce and having to move? What are your top 3 words of wisdom for those people?
So as a moving and storage company, we tend to work with a lot of different groups of people. And I tell people all the time, the best group of people to work with are those brand new homeowners, that first house. It's a very exciting time. You know, the move is like a ray of light, right? Everything is wonderful about it. That's not every move we have. You know, we often also, on the flip side, could have a move for a senior who's been in their home their whole life and they've raised children there and grandchildren, and it's time to say goodbye to that house. That move has can have a little bit of a different vibe to it as well. Somewhere in the middle is this divorce piece. As we know, as you mentioned, more often than not, when you're getting a divorce, it's going to go a couple of different ways. Either one person is staying in that family home and one is exiting, or they could both be exiting. When we get the phone call, it's important for us to understand the dynamic of that situation, so that way we can send the right amount of movers to get them out of there, and make sure that we're doing so usually with an awareness. For example, scenarios that could come down is one, who is actually going to be there for the move. There have been times where we've showed up for a move and the two partners are both there, and it can be a very uncomfortable situation where we're saying, okay, the one person is saying, I need you to take the whole bedroom set, put it on the truck, and the other partner is like, no, you're not taking that. There's wasted time and energy there because, one, they don't have something already drawn up. um, I have been divorced, and my partner needed to leave my home prior to me selling it, and I am a client of Assalone and Lombardi. And the ladies were very. This was something that we worked hard at doing. Was we made sure that prior to the exit of my partner, that there was a list drawn up that was very detailed as to what was actually going allowed, right? What was agreed upon between myself and my partner to be taken out of the home. That document is extraordinarily important to be in hand for us when we do the move. That way we only take what is supposed to be exited. There's an understanding between the two partners. There is no argument. There is no issue, and there is no issue with their lawyers. If this is a point of contention, we don't want to take the heat of, oh, you took my grandmother's, let's say clock, my grandmother's, $1 million clock, and you weren't supposed to take it. And they're like, oh, well, the movers took it. I'm not giving it back. So having that list drawn up by the law office is paramount for both the two partners involved and for the moving company. So one, having a list in hand that's very clear for us is very important for the move, the day of the move. Number two, having an idea as to who we're actually working for and how it's being paid. For example, we've had many scenarios come down the pike over time where the ex-husband wants, or the husband wants the wife out of the house. He's willing to pay for the entire move, just to expedite her exit, or vice versa. So at that point, it's important for us to know who is paying for the move. Is it the law office paying for the move and it's recouped later? Is it the actual one or other partner that's paying for the move? And upon understanding who is paying for the move, that is the person that we talk to within reason for directive. And then in that same vein, it's a lot easier to have one or the other partner there at one time. It's easier for the men to take direction only from one. And as we know, it can be a highly emotionally charged moment. And it just makes it a lot easier for us to get the job done properly if there's one person there and we're taking direction from that one person. And then last but not least, when you hire a mover to help with the divorce, you just want to make sure that all parties are in agreement. We never want to roll into a situation that could be volatile or upset. We're there to do a job. We're not there to judge. It's just, what is it that we can do for you? How can we make your life easier in this tough time? Tell us what you need and we will get it done for you. So that's how we try our very best to handle a divorce situation.
Well, and you've already started to share with us a little bit that, you started your experience with us and we brought you through your own
Yes.
divorce. And
Yes.
you sit in this incredible position in your own business where you're helping folks through this time that for some people it's a blessing and a relief. For others, it's the worst reality they've ever faced. How do you feel that your journey through your divorce has helped you handle those individuals that are now coming to you for services during their divorce?
So for me, having the two of you as a support system was very important. I went into this divorce, not that anybody goes inexperienced, but I didn't really have anybody around me, close to me, that I kind of understood the divorce process at all. I really didn't, as you girls know. I really didn't understand.
That's why it takes a village.
Right.
Right.
And as I'm just going to speak for myself, as a female who was walking in kind of like with my eyes, right? What's that terminology where you're like a deer in headlights?
Yeah.
That's very much how I felt. No matter how confident I am in my regular life, no matter how educated I am in my regular life, I was very much out of my element when I came in and I had to navigate through this with you. I'm very grateful for all the help and the advice and the hand holding and the emotional support that you both gave to me during that time, because my divorce had a lot of elements that others might not have in dividing of assets in businesses that needed to be made sure that they were proper before they were handed over. We had a home. There was just a lot involved, and having the assistance from women that do this on the regular, who could give me almost not a guarantee or a surety, but I'm walking in there with question marks all around me. And for the most part, you ladies were able to soothe and calm and kind of walk me through and take me off the edge on some occasions as to what to expect. I did ask you for your toolbox or for your village to help me with, like, I need to have my house appraised. Who do I call? There were things that I needed, and you were able to point me in the direction of people that you trusted. And that was extremely important to me at that time. So I've been through the process. I understand that, my client that you're sharing with me and trusting, I might get the client that's like, yeah, thank God. I'm so glad it's over. right?
Woohoo!
Right. Woohoo. And that
Mm.
client is a very different client than the client who's heartbroken and is still kind of running on the hamster wheel going, is this really happening to me? What do I do? It's a very different situation. Despite whichever one you send to us, I can assure you that we have an admin staff that is very understanding of the situation. Um, and we will do whatever it is that we need to do to make sure that the move gets done properly, that it's done with dignity. And if something does arise that goes awry, that we will work with the client to kind of keep things moving, and that's a kind of a testament, I think, to all of us. So I thank you for all of your expertise in helping me get through a very tough time in my life. And on the flip side, I'm always happy to repay that to whomever needs it from us.
And I would just want to add to that what a pleasure it is to have represented you and to see you where you are today. Um, Not only have survived, but completely thriving in the business that you got in the divorce, and that you are just like, I'm in awe of you. I love seeing your beautiful smiling face on the side of these giant moving trucks, and just killing it. And I'm just so proud of you, and such a pleasure to have served you as well.
Thank
Um,
you.
I want to circle back to something that I just learned about your services, because I also think it is tremendously useful in this transition, especially when things might be happening a little too fast and folks don't have a long-term place to land yet for a variety of reasons. We just learned that you also offer storage services. So if somebody needs to move out of their home quickly and they don't have that forever home closed yet or something, that's accurate, that you also are able to provide storage services, and that you
Yes.
move not only in Rhode Island, but as far as where?
So good. I'll hit all those points for you. So we do offer storage in house here. Our storage is what's called warehousing storage. So let's say someone is moving out of their home, they don't know what to do with their belongings. I can certainly hold them either short term, a couple of days to a week, as much as years if needed. Our warehousing is a little bit different than, let's say, you going to a U-Haul where you get a key and you can go in and out as needed. If the client is just like, please just hold my stuff, I don't need to take a look at it for another 3 months until I get into a new home, I'm happy to take it, and we can do so. If they are like, oh, I need access to it, then we will happily move them to any storage facility of their choice. So they definitely have that option. And when we talk to them, we'll kind of work through and find out what is best and what is needed, and we'll absolutely accommodate them. We do work daily in Rhode Island, Mass, and Connecticut. So if they're living in Rhode Island, but one of the partners is leaving and moving back, let's say, to a family member's house in Connecticut, we can certainly do that for them. Or if they're like, hey, I'm out of here and starting a brand new life, I'm going to Miami, you know, we can do that too. So we can take the client anywhere from Maine to Florida. So up and down the East Coast, we have trucks that go monthly, sometimes more, up and down the East Coast. That's not a problem. And we go as far west as mid-country. So if they were heading to Chicago, or they were going, let's say, I don't know, San Antonio, like somewhere mid Texas-ish, and kind of all the way up. We do go that far. And we're happy to help them in whatever way they need. So we have a pretty neat umbrella. There are actually a couple of more things that we do that don't necessarily apply to you, but we have a part of a business called Seniors on the Move, where we help seniors downsize and move into smaller homes. Yeah,
That
that's
absolutely
kind of,
applies. I mean, we have a lot of what they call gray divorces,
yeah,
um, and I loved hearing about how you are particularly empathetic and compassionate, not only for those going through a divorce, but also those seniors who, that's a tough
yes.
move too. It really is.
It
Yeah.
is. It's a tough move. It's a tough move oftentimes on the individual, the senior that's moving out, depending on their situation. A lot of
Emotion,
the Rhode Island
history.
mentality, but but also sometimes the kids aren't local, and they're depending on us oftentimes to do some of the things that a child would do for them. And so we often find ourselves taking on a little bit more responsibility with those clients, totally within our wheelhouse, and I'm happy to do so. So yes, my empathy it does go beyond just, the divorced family or woman or man, I also feel that same empathy for someone that's leaving their home after many, many years and saying goodbye to a lot of memories. I was in my house for 17, I believe. And listen, and I left that house. I got the house in the divorce, and I ended up selling the house after the fact. And even though it was technically 100% mine at that time, and I didn't have to worry about splitting up product, belongings at that time, it was still it still broke my heart to leave that home.
Yeah.
It did. And I moved out with my own moving company. Luckily.
And if folks are interested in your services for any reason, what is the best way to get in touch with you?
So there's a couple of different ways. You can call us at 401-233-2786, and you can talk to us directly. Some people would prefer to access us through our website, which is gentrymoving.com. If you choose to go to gentrymoving.com, you can actually fill out a document letting us know what it is you need, a little bit more impersonal, but kind of shoot it over to us, and then we'll take a look and we will call you at when you'd like. Not many people do it, but I welcome it. We're located at 1425 Cranston Street in Cranston. In the rear of the building. You absolutely can come in and pop in and say hi to us at any time, and we'll help you. We can help you in person if need be. But there's those are the three ways that you can get in touch with us. And there's always, I have an amazing administrative staff who also happens to be all women. So when you come in,
it's like Wonder Woman Island over there.
It is. But again,
That's
it goes back to that. It goes back to that empathy piece. I am a WBE. I am a woman business enterprise. My main office staff. Do I have men that work for me? Absolutely. I shouldn't. And I love them just as much.
We do as well. I think there's one sitting in your office today. Right?
Yeah, there is. But one thing but I will tell you this, if we're talking about empathy, it is, if you pick up the phone and you call most, not all, but most moving companies, you will receive, when the pickup, it's going to be a man. And as we know, and this is no knock against men, but men are very, very much to the point. How may I help you, ma'am? What date do you need? What do you need? They don't care about the fluff. They don't want to hear the sad story. They don't care. Just what do you need and how can I help you? And there's nothing wrong with that. We pepper that with the phone call where the potential client is, even to ask for the help or the idea that they're going to have to move, you can hear it in their voice. They often call us upset, crying. We do take a little bit more time with that client because I think as females, we're just by nature, we're a little bit more empathetic. And I love the fact that when you call me, you're going to get a female on the phone, and we are going to take that extra little bit of time that the person might need at that moment. And believe it or not, after everything's said and done, I often get thank yous from people saying, thank you for taking that extra time with us because it meant the world to me at that moment. It is. We don't realize that little personal touch, just caring, that caring that you feel it from the person you're doing business with, and it makes all the world of a difference.
I think that's why all three of us are getting up and still going to work in the morning, right? Because it's that human connection and being able to help somebody.
Right. And even though we're all badass businesswomen and we want to, go out and change the world, we did it because we want to help people. We want to be able to take that time and give that empathy and make that connection and, show pictures of each other's kids and, talk about what we did at the holidays and have those moments that make life and human connection worth it.
And I mean, and in regards to what both of you ladies do, only because I've sat in those chairs across from you, I was very grateful for you holding my hand because I needed it. But Veronica, I'm going to say this to you. I was also very grateful when you took a look at me on more than one occasion and you were like, put your big girl panties on, girlfriend. We're right? Because if it was up to me,
we're going to get through this. We're going to get through this.
If it was up to me, there were days where I was a puddle on the floor in there because I couldn't navigate it myself. And there were days when you guys were like, there, Christine, you'll be fine. And then there were other days where like, buck up, buttercup. Cause it's
tough love is still love, right?
Yes. Tough love is still love. Right.
So so you have, I think the both of you have figured out that delicate balance of both, and it's needed in the world that you work in. that empathy is needed. You need to hear your client out, but at the end of the day, it's what you got. We have to listen to what you say and do what's best to get to the end game, which is the final.
Knowing the
End of it.
intention always is what's in your best interest and to get you through surviving the other side and then ready to enjoy your best life, right?
Correct.
Thank
Absolutely.
you. Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you so
Thank
much,
you.
Christine, for joining us. This has been a pleasure. And like she said, you have all of her information. So for those folks that are looking for a little bit more empathy and special care in their move, please reach out to our dear friend Christine, and we will see you all next time on It Takes a Village.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me. I really do appreciate it. You ladies are mwah. You know how I feel.
Bye.